What do you think this place was for? Ah!
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary dude. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourself. All bets are off when it comes to this thing.
A whirling circle. Wind of water.
Eat this!
Annihilation. Radiant look here.
Destruction!
This is first try.
Destruction!
Now you're talking.
Destruction!
Its head is its weak point? We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
No escape! You're finished!
Explosion. Helium.
No
Flame of
escape!
sky.
It's over!
Water.
You're
Hear my
mine!
call.
No escape!
Electro spear.
No
Here's
escape!
evil.
Crush! You're finished!
Freeze lancer.
Destruction!
Lightning to death. Here's the healing art. Thunderblade.
Destruction!
First illuminate the dark. Come forth. Holy glimmer.
Destruction!
Holy lance.
Destruction!
Eagle of bolt.
What's this?
Destruction!
Come forth. Purity. First
Here I
nail.
come! I'm not done!
Lunar
This
corruption.
one's all mine!
Lunar blast.
Ignite!
Back in Chinese. Supernova. Raging cascade.
You're finished!
Off my focus. Chain between heaven and earth. Glacial spear. Here's evil. Banshee of lightning.
Destruction!
Freeze lancer. Looks like you got this one covered.
Destruction! Crush!
Lunar corruption.
Destruction!
Gemini Aqua. Gale force.
Crush!
Magna ray.
Destruction! Here I come!
Supernova. Raging cascade. Spread.
Here I come!
Dance in the wind.
My turn!
Air thrust.
No escape!
Now. Dopamine.
Light burst forth.
Radiant denizen.
I'll tear you
Zero.
apart.
No
Reload.
escape!
I'm out of amp weapon.
Take this!
Eagle
Crush!
blade.
Now
Illuminate
see this
illuminate the dark. Holy glimmer. Holy
You're
lance.
mine.
Chain between
I'm not
heaven and
done!
earth. By the power of
Crush! Destruction!
Storm.
This one's all mine!
Puddle.
My turn! I'm not done! It's over! Burn!
I'll heal you all!
You're mine!
Lightning orb!
You're finished!
Healing circle!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I
No, that'd be silly.
Radiant pierce!
Destruction! Rising flame!
Lunar mutation! A whirling power of water! Outstanding form! First form! Back to the flame!
Destruction!
Now, into the flame! Here's the flame!
It's over!
Lost my focus.
Now! You're mine!
Here's a healing
Now,
habit!
get it.
First aid! Puddle! They're not playing around!
Rip and tear!
Flame of fury!
Destruction!
Eagle of soul! Water! Hear my call!
Destruction!
Eagle on a roll now! Here! Lightning and down! There you go! Don't let up! Water! Hear my call! Come forward! Holy glitter! Holy flame of fury!
Not today!
Fire complete! Strike!
You're right! We got him on the run!
Don't get caught!
Right. Still anyone's fight.
Here I come! First
Here you go! It's over!
I feel like
Here I come!
Illuminate the dark! Lunar corruption! Holy glitter! Lunar blast!
Destruction!
Between heaven and earth! All day! A wailing fury of lightning! Reload!
Christ!
Here, let me help!
Destruction!
First aid!
Okay, here I go!
armor won't save you.
Destruction!
Radiant here!
I'm up. Here comes something big.
Destruction!
Try to dodge!
Destruction!
Raging storm!
You're finished!
I'm all stopped up!
Take this!
Now I'm in the groove.
By the
It's
power
over!
of water!
Here I come!
Air drop!
Strike!
Field! Photon!
Here I come!
Here, let me help!
You're finished! Take this!
Oh, you are gonna pay for that.
Destruction! Raging flame!
I'll bring you back from
Destruction!
Death blossom!
Take this!
Here, let me help!
It's
Still
over!
got some fight left.
Thanks, Shield.
Be careful not to overdo it.
It's over!
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
This one's all mine!
Will this help?
Eat dirt!
Art
Take this! First strike! I'm not done!
Illuminate
I'll
the
tear you
dark.
apart.
Take this!
Pull myself together. Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay?
Destruction!
Yeah, you too. Astral energy!
Say no more! The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Donglin's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
So, looks like the Helganquil have been engineering Zeugles too. Why doesn't that surprise me at this point?
The creatures we've been encountering here have been a little different to what we're used to fighting, but I'm pretty sure they're Zeugles too.
Do you think they were engineered using creatures native to the area?
Indeed. However, based on the current circumstances, I would guess these Zeugles are all that's left of the planet's fauna now.
You mean, there might have been native owl species here once upon a time too?
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can think about?
Bear in mind, the core of Rena now sits above us. I pray that we won't encounter many stairs along the way.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Rolling snap!
Here!
No!
Healing circle!
Take this! Dragon shout! Inferno finish!
This is gonna need all of us together!
This has got your name on them!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil! Concentration!
Destruction!
One more time!
Far enough!
Stars of light! Rain down!
Glacial Spear!
Fire!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here you go! Don't let up! Lightning orb!
Destruction!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Burn! No escape! Destruction!
All dissolved at once! Come forth! Healing
I'm not done!
security! Healing circle!
I'm just getting started! Destruction!
Swallow dance!
This one's all mine! Storm! Not today!
Require complete focus! Searing flame!
Destruction!
Lightning orb!
Burn!
Illuminate the
Now
dark!
I'm in the
Come
groove!
on! Holy glimmer! Holy
Destruction!
lens! A chain between heaven and earth! Hear me!
Destruction!
Burning strike! Glacial spear! Here's evil! Cascade!
Destruction!
Freeze blade!
I'm on!
I'll be saving
Destruction! I'll tear you apart! It's finished!
Lightning! Let's do it! Healing circle!
First strike! Destruction!
Raging cascade! Need to pull myself together.
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I think.
No, that'd be silly. Tectonic destruction! You're mine!
Healing circle!
It's over!
In the wind!
Raging flame! It's over again!
Water! Here's the door! Chinese
Destruction!
Glacial spear! Here's evil!
It's got yours!
Xeon! Astral energy! Full throttle! I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renis Alma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That shows how deeply we've ventured into Rena.
And how close we've come to the real enemy.
So here's a question. We came all this way to Rena on the assumption the Renis Alma's here, right?
Just don't say it, Law.
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
I said don't.
I can understand why you might be concerned, Law. But you need to remember that there are people it affects more directly than you.
Oh, sorry.
We've managed to make it this far believing. Losing faith now won't do us any good. We're better off focusing our anxiety elsewhere.
Such as?
The Great Spirit. If Hevrecht 35's to be believed, our enemy won't just be handing over the Renis Alma to us. At least, not without a fight.
Not only that, but that same enemy just gulped down more than an entire world's worth of astral energy.
Point taken. It may be strange to say, but when I'm fighting, or at least know what needs to be done, it helps me a lot. I don't doubt myself as much. So thanks, both of you. The floor's on the ceiling and the ceiling's on the floor. This whole thing's making my head spin. Why would they even do something like this?
The Helganquil can bend life forms to suit their will. Nothing they could do at this point would surprise me.
The ceiling is on the floor. That doesn't weird you out?
What good is a team made up of members who all share the same opinions on everything? And besides, when you get to be at my ripe old age, one begins to consider it quite uncouth to show one's true emotions at times.
Oh, come on, Grandpa. You can't be that old.
The sands of time wait for none of us, lad.
Yeah, we'll see. Though at this rate, I guess I'll have to live long enough to get as old as you first, huh?
You will. And when the time comes, I look forward to hearing you change your tune on the matter.
feeling about this.
Radiant flood here! Confiscated! Here goes!
Take that!
Reload!
Destruction!
Hear my call! Concentrate! Too much to handle?
Mine's freeze! Look at they just sit still!
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! Air thrust!
The enemy feels off too.
You'll soon see about that! We're never alone! Right!
Watch this!
It's showtime!
Here I come!
Annihilation! Raging storm! Flame of fury!
Destruction!
Photon dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Destruction!
A chain between heaven and earth! A wailing not on my watch! By the power!
Destruction!
Finish with the giant supernova!
Destruction!
Now I'm in the groove!
Dance in the wind!
We've turned the tables on them.
There are still more left!
Right, no time to hold back.
Freeze Lancer!
I'll finish you here and there like it doesn't!
Photon, illuminate the top!
See what happened there as you crossed
Holy
me?
Turbo!
Shouldn't have done that!
Destruction!
Holy Lamb! A chain between heaven and earth!
Destruction!
Lost!
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Easy! Way to go!
It's over!
Mega Ray!
Eat this!
Destruction!
Talon Hurricane!
No! Lost!
Demons descend! Flashing fang! Yeah, I look pretty flashy out there.
So glad it met with your approval.
Brace yourself! This one's tough! I'm not just
He
here!
does it!
Freeze Lancer!
Destruction!
Talon Hurricane!
Here, let me help. Hold on to your reins. Here I come.
Ignite!
Talon Hurricane!
Destruction!
Watch this!
Winds of heaven.
Destruction!
Swallow dance! Talon Sword!
Destruction!
Outstanding form.
Destruction!
Let's go.
You're mine! No escape!
Will this help?
Destruction!
We'll wait
Here
behind
it
that!
comes.
Does it!
I
I
call
owe you one.
Hurricane.
I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Sleep now.
Now I'm in the groove.
Destruction!
Take it.
Destruction!
You're mine.
Destruction!
Hurricane!
Fury. More with that
Destruction!
Water. Hear my call.
Ah!
Burning.
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
No, I won't give in!
Winds of heaven.
It's on! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'm on it! Talon Hurricane!
Ignite!
I will.
Eagle ticket!
Sword.
It's over!
Here, let me help. Chain between heaven and earth. Lunar corruption. Leave the enemy's art to me.
No complaints here!
Destruction!
Amazing.
Talon Hurricane!
More where that came from.
Destruction! Burn!
Healing circle. A chain between heaven and earth.
Here I come!
A wailing beat. Thanks for the healing.
Watch yourself, okay?
Yeah, you too.
This isn't looking good.
All good things come to an end.
Eternal damage!
Illuminate. Do it. Dopaline.
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis.
Remember to tell me if you need healing.
I expect you'll be in high demand if that's the case.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You got company! Raising Supernova! I owe you, Tion. Healing is what my arts do best.
Be careful, everyone.
All mine
This
can do
one
is cause
isn't
havoc
normal.
and destruction. Enemies incoming!
Fine, then we'll take them down.
Annihilation here! Hear me!
Destruction! You're finished! An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Holy Roll!
Eternal devastation!
More time!
Crush! Swallow! Do it! Tremor!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got
Water! Well
Take
done!
this! First crush! Eternal
Raging
devastation!
spear! Piercing
Inferno punch! Eternal devastation! Crush!
A chain between heaven and earth!
Destruction! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Now! Take this! Ha! You're finished!
Water! Hear my call!
Not a chance! No escape! Ha!
Burning! I'll be saving! Water!
Crush!
Hear my call!
Ha! Eat this!
Alright! It's showtime!
Take this!
Burning strike!
Crush!
Do it!
More?
Astral energy!
Say no more! My turn!
More incoming!
You're mine! Ha! Ha!
Mega
Dragon!
Ray!
Destruction! Inferno
Annihilation!
punch! Crush!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Destruction!
Burning strike!
Crush!
Water!
First
Hear my
strike!
call! Do it! Tion! Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory!
Strike!
Naturally!
You're finished!
All good
Destruction!
things come to an end.
Crush! Ha! Ignite!
Do it! Lost!
Demons descend! Flashing bang!
My turn! Here I come!
Ready!
Okay, here I go!
Dragon Shell!
Crush!
Inferno punch!
Destruction!
Swallow dance!
Destruction!
Watch this!
Crush!
Eagle assault!
Destruction!
Lightning! Downfall!
Eagle dive!
More?
Raging storm! By the power of
Destruction!
cloud! Venom without a trace!
Take this! No escape! Destruction!
Here!
Crush!
Wind astral energy! Lightning
Destruction!
again! Thunder! Tion! Astral energy! Full throttle!
Not more!
Dragon Shell!
Strike!
Raging cascade!
I'm on it!
Lunar corruption!
Destruction!
Seven aqua! Air thrust!
Dragon
Power
Shell!
of flame!
Take Bolero!
Wind healing art! First force!
This one's all mine!
Dance in the wind! In here!
Tremor!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Radiant
more?
Here!
I'm not done!
I'm on it!
It's over!
Radiant
Ah! You picked the wrong fight!
Shining supernova! Right
Let's
now!
clean it, Hal!
Mega
More?
ray!
Here I come!
Sleep now! Power of water!
Destruction!
More for the stockpile! Do it! Dohalim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! By the power of
more?
flame!
I'm
Never
not-
without a trace!
You're finished!
Shouldn't have messed with me!
Burning cut! Now for something special!
Destruction!
Fury! Burning! I can't imagine what we do without you, Renwell. Who, me? That's a little much.
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
First strike!
Let me help.
Just getting started!
I'm not done!
Eagle dive!
It's over!
Now!
Destruction!
Frozen!
Hammer!
My turn!
First strike!
You're finished!
Thunder without a trace!
First strike! Destruction!
Blazing flame!
Do it! Oh, lost!
Demons descend! Flashing bang!
Easy! Way to go!
I'm not done!
Lightning orb! Mega ray!
I'm on it!
Destruction!
Do it! Dohalim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! With this, I can become even stronger.
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this place is.
Or perhaps they simply thrived freely here under such harsh conditions.
I don't give a damn why they're here. We'll burn it all to the ground.
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah, it's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Rinwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants, how it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted, like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Xion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
To think, all this started because of the Great Spirit's desire to keep living. The only reason it craves energy is because it's dying from starvation. When you think about it like that, maybe the things it's done aren't so strange after all.
If Rena had been more like Dana, things would have worked out a whole lot better.
It's like Hevrecht 35 told us. The Danan and Renan spirits are meant to be completely different beings.
Rena's energy amassing in one place led to its developing a powerful will. But that also made it crave energy, sapping Rena dry until it perished.
Whereas Dana's energy is dispersed, meaning its will never developed to the same extent. And without that hunger, Dana the planet was spared.
As for which is correct, well, I'm not sure it's our place to even say. Still, I can't help but think it reminds me a lot of the dichotomy of the human condition.
Dichotomy? What do you mean?
Those who know not satisfaction are driven to keep devouring without limit. But those who are content with their lot in life rarely fulfill their potential. I imagine it's likely that the larger Rena's great spirit grew, the more and more powerful its hunger also became.
Everything in moderation. When all's said and done, maybe that's the hardest thing for people to learn. Bad feeling about this.
Inferno punch!
Burning! Tempest! Glacial spear! Here angels! That's freaking I'll shoot them out of the sky! I'll heal you all!
Get a word!
Outstanding form! Illuminate the dark! Healing form! Holy land!
Thanks, Xion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Oh, now we're talking! You picked the wrong way! Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Okay.
Get on
It's
there with
over.
the others! Wind astral energy!
Destruction!
Let's go!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
Destruction! Just
Lightning! Still
Destruction!
One more time!
Destruction!
Hurricane! By the power of
Destruction!
flame! Vanish without a trace! Divine savior! Explosion!
Hurricane!
A wild struggle! Winds of heaven! Burst forth!
I'm on it!
Cyclone!
Strike!
Coming through!
I'm on it!
Time to let it rip.
First strike! Dragon shout!
Lightning condemned!
Eternal devastation!
Thunder blade! A chain between heaven and earth!
one's all mine!
Hurricane! A wailing
Eat
dancing
dirt!
lightning! Explosion! Hear me!
Mirage!
Fury! Divine Savior! It looks like you...
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing arc! First aid!
Now,
A chain
let loose.
between heaven and
Dragon
earth!
Claw!
Lunar corruption! A wailing dancing of lightning!
Inferno
Divine
Punch!
shadows!
Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
We won.
Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander, but I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
Clearly the worst point against it.
Winds of heaven!
Destruction!
Lunar corruption! Lunar blast!
Destruction!
Come and get it! Freaking does it!
I'll heal you all!
Destruction!
Come and get it! I'll tear you apart!
Healing missile!
I really owe you one.
Steering flare! Reload!
That's the spot.
Mega ray!
Freaking does it!
Destruction!
Eat
Send my
Howling Hurricane!
It's over!
By the power of the ring!
I'll tear you apart!
I'm not done! You're finished! Destruction!
I'm on a roll now!
Explosion!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this! Talon Hurricane!
Destruction!
Mega ray! Annihilation!
Amazing.
Mega ray!
Watch this!
Annihilation! Raging missile!
This one's all mine!
Tunnel! Steering flame!
Burn!
Talon Hurricane! Eagle Side!
Raging
Destruction!
whirlwind! Pattern without a trace! Ice vision!
Destruction!
Razor cyclone! Tunnel!
Destruction!
Talon hurricane! Flame of fury!
Eagle Side!
Strut! Lightning orb!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that!
Destruction!
Eagle Side!
Talon Sword!
Bananas, let's go!
Lost my phone!
Destruction!
Tectonic
Let's get you all tucked away!
Destruction! Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more. We managed to pull through.
Brace yourselves! This
Hold
one's
on to
tough.
your arms! Here I come!
Super Tail Dance!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
The flame!
Eat dirt!
Seal! Crush! Healing shower!
Destruction! I owe you one!
Sleep now!
Talon Hurricane!
Let's get you all tucked away!
Destruction! Burn!
Watch this!
Here's the evil!
Here I come!
Inferno
I'm not
Punch!
done!
Freeze Lancer!
Death
Sleep now!
Destruction!
Mega Ray! Annihilation! Radiant Blood! Heal!
Destruction!
All finish you here and now!
One at a time! Sleep now. It looks like you got this one covered. A chain between heaven and earth.
Destruction!
A wailing banshee of lightning. And here.
Watch this!
I'm out of ammo. Get on in there with the evidence. Watch them bleed. Annihilation.
Destruction!
Can't the power of flame. What was that?
Blazing flame! Destruction!
Here's another. One more. Oh, there you go. Don't let up. Flame of Jericho.
Oh! Now I'm real mad!
Water, hear my call.
Destruction!
Blood. Try hard. Come
My
here,
turn.
healing
Take this.
security.
This time.
What would I do without you?
Destruction!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here, let me
Take
help.
this! I'm on it!
First aid.
Destruction!
I feel like me again.
The enemy is going all out.
Destruction!
Flames will roar. Hell is score. Burning blood.
Destruction!
Flame of fury. Here. I'll heal you all.
Destruction!
Saving this one.
Destruction!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
I don't even know the word defeat.
I'll finish you here and now!
Try harder!
Here, let me
No
help.
chance!
First aid.
Laser spear!
Here's the evil.
Destruction!
And here's Blazer.
Destruction!
Here's a hero.
In the corner!
What a
Destruction! Try harder! My turn! Here I come!
by the power of flame.
It's over!
Finish without a
Mirage! Destruction! This one's all mine!
Here, let me help.
Eternal devastation! Crush! Eternal devastation! Eternal devastation! Eternal devastation! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Lightning healing arc.
Don't find us long ago.
There.
I'm not done! Destruction!
By the power of flame.
Burn in hell!
Dance in the wind.
Destruction!
Hear me. Breaking star.
Destruction!
Tunnel. Hear my call. Dance in the wind. Flood. Air thrust. A chain between heaven and earth.
Here I come!
Healing circle.
Destruction!
I'm sorry to be a clog.
We've all got enough of it.
Do it!
Yes, ma'am.
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Got
Well done.
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
So, did you like my boost art?
Yeah, it was off the charts.